All right, Shadow, pick up. Which one? That one?
Hello,
Oh,
everybody.
well, what happened?
What are you talking about?
Did it start and you didn't tell me?
I was telling you all the way as you kept saying, I'm almost ready.
I
I'm
was
almost
almost
And then you
ready.
said, go ahead and start it.
I did.
And I
I
did.
admit I said it. I did.
But anyway, welcome to TFT, Tarot for Today. Divine Dabblings with,
Oberon.
and me. Wait a minute. Congratulations, Aaliyah!
Yay!
Yay! That's awesome.
He was shouting this stuff to me as I was frantically getting ready. So, I do apologize. I took a too late nap. I think I'm a little bit foggy today. But here we are. And guess what? This is our second anniversary show. Woohoo! We started on August 4th, 2 years ago.
Some of y'all have been with us crazy mothers, nuts, for 2 years.
Wow, so that is way cool. We're very excited. You never know, this is like an anniversary month. There may be some specials, there may be some giveaways. I might just be talking outside my head, but because we've been really kind of crazy busy lately, a little topsy-turvy in the home front, but
We should indeed thank Spirit that we're still doing live, Dr. Victor. Thank you so much.
oh, absolutely. All right, I'm going to get the list going here since I'm way behind with that. And, you know, here's Sunny. I think we'll have to have a special little cat thing on Sunday because I discovered that Sunday is International Cat Day, Mr. O.
Really?
Really. Like they don't get enough special attention from us.
Indeed. So
Well,
I see
hello to everybody, just saying.
Stacy's here.
Oh my
Gina's
goodness, I've got a
here.
lot to do here. We've got K-Dash, we got Dr. V,
Hi, baby.
we got Aaliyah. Congrats, Aaliyah. We knew you were going to do it, of course. We got Angel Mary.
You should
got
turn your volume down.
Stacy. Oh, you're right. Why, thank you. I'm wondering, why am I hearing me talking?
You're still foggy, I guess.
I think. So Stacy, Aaliyah, let's see, Dr. V, I got Gina. Hey, Gina.
Now, from our perspective in the chat room, Dr. Victor, it looks like K-Dash actually entered first and you're second. So we just are used to going with how they show up in our list. So you'll be number 2, but K-Dash is going to be number 1. We'll get to that in a minute.
S, good to see you.
Yes.
So,
Good to see everybody.
yeah, good to see everybody here today.
So let's remind everybody that tomorrow at noon our time, we're having a happy hour again.
We had to kind of schedule it on the fly. We're having some issues in the family, so we just weren't sure where we were going to be this week, what we were going to be doing. But we are clear to get Friday is a free day, so we're going to be.
And that's our one person, one card, positive message. Just do as many as we can in 1 hour. So see us at the lunch hour, 12 noon our time, Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah, I saw that on Twitter at the last. I shouldn't have been looking at Twitter at that point because then I got behind. But I did see that. And people, don't be alarmed if you see a giant bruise on my arm. More alarmed than I am anyway. But apparently my last blood test, either I had a very messy technician or maybe this is the way things are going to go now with my blood cancer, but I got a huge bruise. And I guess they would call it a hematoma on my injection site there. So just don't be alarmed. I didn't want to wear long sleeves today. It's too hot. So, but I'm doing okay. I'm feeling fine. And things still seem to be okay. So, let's roll with the show. We've
The
got.
collective?
Oh yeah. Oh. What would I do without Mr. O today? Seriously.
Well, maybe since I'm Banshee Knot, I should do the Oracle Knot.
Well, this one's the easy one, Mr. O. There are words on it. It is
Oh,
very
thank goodness.
short. We're going to do 3 and see if they fit together.
Oh, that's different.
Well, we've done this one this
We've
way
done it
before.
before, I know.
And by the way, for the people, that is the Forest Fae cards. And I'm going to use that because it's still summer. We're still celebrating summer.
That's beautiful.
And so, I'm going to let you pick the 3, Mr. O. Keep them in order. And let's see what you got. So what's first?
Uprights?
Yeah, let me see them. Is that the order?
That's the first one, yep.
The old one. The ancestors' call. Seek their wisdom. And it's interesting because what's the second card pulled? The old paths. Walk in unknown territory to see from a new perspective.
It's pretty.
And the spirit familiar. Seek loving connections and cherished friendships.
All right. Nice. Thank you, Banshee.
Yeah, I'm doing okay, Dr. V. I'm kind of being careful with anti-inflammatories and stuff. I'm taking aspirin a day now because of my disorders. So let me take a look at this a minute here. I just wanted to say, so the ancestors call, seek their wisdom, and maybe you have to use an unconventional way to call, to speak with them. That's what I'm thinking by the old paths here. And, and they're asking again, I think the cards are saying to make this connection, make a loving connection with your ancestors who are trying to, ally with you at this time. So that's, I believe, the message of these cards.
So I have my decks. I have the Millennium Thoth Tarot, which I occasionally use for my Thoughts from Thoth Thursday poll. And then I have the Tarot of the Cat People, and that's the Seven of Wands. You notice we have a lot of cats here today on the set, besides Sunny.
Besides Sunny.
And then finally from the Nefertari Tarot, I have the Temperance. All right.
Okay, well for me, I switched up just a little bit, but I do have my Mermaid's Tarot still for summer. There's the Page of Cups in that deck. And then I do have Mystic Fairy Tarot. It's always like to bring the fairies out in the summer, and that's the King of Swords in that deck. And switched it up a little bit to bring out the Tarot Grand Lux by Ciro Marchetti. That is the wonderful Six of Wands in that deck.
You're getting more health tips, dear.
Right, exactly, Gina. And that's why when I was looking up the hematoma thing, it was saying, to avoid aspirin. But I got to take the baby aspirin daily for, the other problems my condition causes. So I didn't want to not take it, but I'm only taking the baby aspirin right now. So, and finally, the Knight of Swords in the Reflective Tarot. Brought out that beautiful colored shiny deck.
I love it.
I know.
That's pretty.
All right.
All right, we're ready
But
to
it
rock.
is tiny.
Oh, and then of course we have the Lenormand tiles.
Yes, we have the Lenormand tiles again by Jamie Sawyer. They're really beautiful. I love them. And that's it. I think we're good to go. Let's
Okay.
get the show on the road. So it is short again tonight for some reason. Summer, I guess. It's interesting. Our friend Apple and Eve Tarot just gave us some interesting information.
Quite.
We're going to check on why our numbers why we may not be reaching people on YouTube and it's pretty fascinating. So we got to look into this more and talk to Apple and Eve about it.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean about you guys. You know, you're also very helpful to us, and we really do appreciate
everything everyone does.
And apparently she's been having, even though her numbers are a lot higher, she's been having a similar problem. So it's interesting what she uncovered, and we're going to be looking into it pretty
Absolutely.
fast. So, K-Dash, you are first, and then Dr. V, according to what I've got here. Leah, Angel Mary, Stacy, and Gina.
Alrighty then.
And Stacy, if you have to walk away or anything, because I know you're working, if you want to leave a question for us, we'll be able to answer it for you. And we can kind of tell you kind of sort of where it is in the live stream if you want to watch the video later. So just let us know. We'll be watching the chat.
So while we're waiting for K-Dash, oh, there she is. I was just going to remind everybody tomorrow my Outlook on the Emotional Exchanges is on at 7 a.m. So rise and shine and find out what's the ups and downs in your emotional life. Okay, hey K-Dash.
Successfully achieve your goals this year. Well, you know, that sounds like a yes-no, but why don't we do 3 on that? Do you want to do a deck first?
Okay, and I have my Millennium Thoth here, so we're just going to go right ahead. I love this deck.
Is this the one you used for... No, you used the other Thoth. The
Thoth Journey. Yes. I now have 3 more or less Aleister Crowley and derived Thoth type decks, so I can swap them in and out of Thoughts from Thoth, or also use on the show here too. This one is more or less like an exact, more or less reproduction of the original Aleister Crowley, but it has, you know, a different kind of line quality and sense of, you know, coloring and stuff like that.
I like the coloring, I do.
I really love this one. I like Aleister Crowley too, of course. It has a very, you know, Art Nouveau kind of cast to the original Aleister Crowley.
And you know, I don't know why, when I look at this nice golden background here on the cards, I think it's a nice August deck.
Well, there you go then.
So, Stacy, let's talk Christopher Maloney. Oh my gosh, that article was something.
Do you want to see more? Go look for his appearances in HBO's Oz about 20 years ago.
Oh my gosh.
You'll see more.
More than you might imagine. Yeah, he had a nude scene in that one.
One probably. I don't really remember.
I said a nude scene. I'm sure there wasn't more. No.
That HBO's Oz is the prison drama, if you don't remember it. It was kind of stark and...
Holy hottie.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, I mean, I was so impressed with what shape he's in. That just was amazing. All right.
He's a cool dude. All right, K-Dash. We have our 3 cards. We have the Emperor reversed. We have the Hanged Man reversed.
Okay. I'm getting a pattern here.
And then we have Death upright.
You know, it's not that your goals are unachievable, K-Dash, but I think things have to change radically. You're going to have to, I think you're just going to have, maybe you feel as though things have been out of control, therefore out of your reach. Let me let you go ahead, but that's what I'm seeing. I do feel Death is indicating change. Well, let me finish. Go ahead.
You're going to be confronting big changes in terms of this question, and a big part of it is, of course, realizing what you can or cannot control, and it may mostly be the latter, you know, the forces you can't control. But it's also indicating, too, that there may be some real challenges to either patterns you have now that you would have to change, or situations, routines, or very big sacrifices or changes that you would have to consider to realign plans or to refocus plans.
Well, I don't know. know, for some reason I'm taking a different approach here, just a little bit. I feel as though, you feel like maybe there's a sense of a lack of control here. And, with that Hanged Man reversed, I get the feeling that maybe you're giving a lot of your time away to other things and other projects and other goals. And really, in order to succeed, this kind of has to change. You really are going to have to be a little bit more selfish, I feel. A little bit more, just a little bit more. This is my time. I need to work on the things that are important to me now, In other words, it's okay sometimes to say, hey, I'm sorry, I'll help you when I have a chance, but right now I have to work on me. Okay.
I pulled that from the bottom, and I think that really corroborates what you're saying right now, that this is saying it's about yourself more than anything, that if you've been more of a people pleaser, maybe not trying to always do changes that might shift balances, kind of like what I was sort of maybe getting close to, this is saying really maybe the best way to find those goals is to really have no mercy. It's not to say be unfair, but saying being harsher when it comes to others and putting yourself number one.
Right, and maybe not being harsh, but just to the point,
Oh no,
and just...
Queen of Swords reversed is harsh.
Ooh.
She's a harsh mistress.
Okay, I'll let him have that one. All right, well, oops.
Not quite, Dr. Victor. We're getting
You
there.
are next, right after this, Dr. V.
We're almost there.
Hang in there for us. Don't go anywhere.
So we're going to do the Lenormand now. So
I just love this. I can't wait to see what he pulls.
It's business though, right?
All right, I think I have it. All right, so I pulled the Ring card, and then there's the Snake card. So what does this mean in relation to you achieving your goals? I think basically you have to stop deceiving yourself, well, maybe this isn't even about self-deception. You have to watch people who are constantly trying to encroach, or situations that are constantly trying to encroach on your commitment to, your goals. And maybe this is saying, are you deceiving, I will say the deceiving yourself here, Kay, in this regard. Are you deceiving yourself here? Are you recognizing, maybe not recognizing the fact that it is you yourself that are, reneging on your commitment to your goals? You're kind of putting all these things in front of your goals and as an excuse to not achieve them. So I want you to give some thought to all of this, because I think that the main thing you have to think about here is that if you really want to achieve those goals, you're going to have to work on them. You're going to have to regain control, and you're going to have to be a little bit more self-oriented.
I think that's pretty right too. And from my perspective, I'm sort of aligning that Snake card with the reverse Queen of Swords, because I'm sort of seeing a cleverness as well as, we'll just say, a commitment to maybe going to where you have to go. And I said before, oh, harsh mistress, in terms of judgments, that kind of thing, deciding for yourself. But I think that the Snake also sets that tone a little bit deeper and says, sometimes you're going to know things, or you're going to feel things, and you're going to want to work those covertly a little bit, because you realize this is a power too, to know certain things and to not give that away. So in terms of strategies, objectives, things like that, play some things closer to the vest, but don't be afraid to make the moves you need to make.
Yeah. Hey, that's what we have for you, K-Dash. I hope that helps.
Alrighty.
So really, the answer to the question is, I think it's up to you. Are you going to, give it the time and the what should I say, the importance in your life, to see it through?
Yeah, a lot of it is just maybe about crafting some other strategies that are kind of take no prisoners, or at least take no prisoners plus minus.
Yeah. All right, so let's move on to Dr. V. I see Dr. V has posted a question.
Yes.
And then we have Aaliyah, Angel Mary, Stacy, and Gina.
Ready. You're welcome, K-Dash. Good luck. We'll see you again.
Adibici was crazy on that show. And you know what? I'm just saying that he has such a range in the actors, in the roles that he's played. What was that movie where he played that crazy?
Oh, it was the
Oh,
Harold and Kumar.
yes, the Harold and Kumar
What a
movie.
breakout
Oh my
role!
gosh, he played such a funny role.
It was
in
the first one, right?
Yes.
They're somewhere off in the woods under crazy Harold and Kumar, the
Stoner
stoners.
movie. But
And
he
they
was
meet this
so good in that.
hillbilly
So
guy,
funny.
and I kept looking at him like, who is that? I know that person.
It's
and then I found out it was
Maloney.
Christopher Maloney. Almost unrecognizable.
Yeah.
Crazy. It was lovely. Okay, so let's get to Dr. Victor, though. So go ahead and grab the cards.
Let's use this one.
How will
Yes,
the
make it a
future...
commitment. In other words, really commit. You know, that's it. All right, Dr. V. Let's see. How will D future at JPG firm be if I join them? Okay.
All right, so that's the 3 cards, right?
Yep. Well, it wasn't a huge part of the movie, but
Yeah, because it's just this long, meandering movie. They just keep winding up in bizarre situations. But that was one of the ones.
truly a bizarre situation.
He's nearly unrecognizable. You're looking like, I know this person, and then when you figure it out, you're like, oh my goodness.
Sonny was adorably cuddling with me at the end of my nap.
Alrighty.
All right.
Good.
Holy moly, Dr. V. Let me see. Well, it's not going to be totally easy here. We've got the 8 of Swords. The 8 of Swords is upright. We have the Tower upright. Whew, and we have the 5 of Pentacles upright. Well, I'm going to let Mr. O go.
Okay. With the 8 of Swords there, it may be that there's too much going on and different agendas, different things going on, sort of make you feel limited, like you're not really sure which way to go. You can't really stand clear because you sort of have other considerations going on. And maybe that plays into the idea too of the Tower. If you're trying to balance these things, if you're trying to move beyond structures that you feel are just sort of keeping you in line in a certain way, you might tip the scales of power there. You might go too far. But there's a lesson to be learned there. And part of that lesson is that maybe, I'm wondering too, with that 5 of coins there, you have to really trust the people you know the most. And sometimes people in corporate places or in more institutional places, and there's kind of an institutional vibe between the Tower and the 5 of coins that maybe suggests that sometimes, you have to really learn how to ascertain people's motives or whether or not you can actually trust them.
Yeah, it looks kind of tough here, but I will say that it looks as though with the 8 of Swords to me that you are, you might be putting up your own barriers to moving forward here. Oftentimes the 8 of Swords talks about, kind of feeling trapped. You feel trapped, but why? But because you are making yourself trapped. It's up here, it's not out there. And so I almost think it's because there's a lot to learn, a lot to do in this place. And it seems like this job is going to be a big learning experience for you all the way around in how you relate to others there and the culture to, just the work itself. And the 5 to me, I think, the 5 often, besides it being like, sometimes it can indicate a card of poverty or a lack. of money or income. But you know what?
Destitution in the soul.
Yeah, in this case, I'm looking at this card, Dr. V, is feeling like you're going to feel kind of like you don't, not that you don't fit into the culture, but that you're having a problem being accepted right away, by the work environment. That there might be some issues there with the persons that you're working with. And it may take a little time before you gain that comfortability. So I would say that the future, and to me this may not be long term, but it definitely seems like right from the get-go you're going to be feeling this stuff, and maybe just in a matter of time it'll work out. Let's see what the Lenormand can add to this. Thank you, Mr. O.
Well, I'll have to ask E.T. about that too, because
Well,
it seems like some people get through.
Yeah.
Just kidding, of course. All right.
Okay. Ooh.
So we have Banshee pulled the fox tile.
Sorry, I'm doing all this emotional stuff here.
And I have pulled the scythe.
I think that this could be a short-term possible employment, that it may not last long, and it may be, and I maybe by your choice. I get the feeling. I don't know. When I see the scythe there, now mind you, the scythe is not exactly, well, is it pointing towards the fox? Not
Well, we
really.
always said that the curve sort of took it back that
So
way.
it's not. So I almost feel like that you're not going to be cut there, but I feel like you may want to cut out of there. That maybe ultimately you may move on to something else.
Well, we were talking a minute ago or so about maybe your feelings about fitting into the corporate culture. And I sort of feel that the fox may represent a sense of that in a way that maybe it's very cutthroat, competitive kind of competition there as people are trying to move up in the ranks of its corporation or administration. And so this may represent the idea that you might feel that's not for you, that maybe you don't want to be involved in that. I'm not saying that you absolutely will, but it may be a consideration for you on, how much of that kind of career you want to have, where you sort of feel you're constantly competing with a lot of people or with certain people. So I think that's what we have, though.
Yeah. So it doesn't look like an easy go there, Dr. V. I would just say, just be aware, it's going to take some time to feel like you fit in there. So you may not want to, let go of the job until you're absolutely sure this is going to work or not for you.
Right, and it also feels too that there is basically some things you will learn there, maybe mostly about people's natures in terms of this, competitive thing there. But I think that's the lesson of the Tower.
Well, I wish I had a better message, but I hope that makes some sense to you, Dr. V. I wish you luck with
Good luck,
that.
and thank you for coming again.
And we're going to move on to Aaliyah. Congrats again, Aaliyah.
Congratulations
but
again.
I told you you had nothing to worry about.
So also on Sunday, Banshee Show The Material Matters will broadcast at 10 a.m. Banshee and I are normally in the chat room to discuss the reading and or make any other good comments there. So check that out. And I see we have our question.
Oh, okay. Well, I think we should do a yes/no on that one.
Alrighty, so I'm going to use my
All right.
cat people because owls are like cats. Well, no, they're not, but why not?
I'm still waiting. I think it's still in development. Probably will come out maybe sometime next year. I'm not sure, but one of my favorite artists, whose name is escaping me now, is doing an owl tarot. So I can't wait for that to come out. It's Elizabeth Alba. That's the artist, the one who did the Everyday Witch Tarot.
Right.
So it should be very cool. I'm looking forward to that one. We have some really interesting Kickstarter decks we're waiting for. I can't wait for the Pulp Fiction Tarot. Just looks very, very cool. Right. Oops. All right.
Do you want to count them?
I will. I always get confused by a Wheel of Fortune because it looks like a big pentacle to me. Oh, wow. It's leaning towards yes. I would say it's not a definite yes. There's the Ace of Pentacles, and then you got the Ace of Cups. And the reason I'm saying it's maybe not a definite yes is the Knight of Pentacles reversed has reared its head. And so what does that mean as far as show production goes, Mr. O?
Pretty darn slow.
It's all about the money.
Well, that too.
It's all about the money and the contracts and all of that.
But I always look at the Knight of Pentacles reversed as somebody who's a little bit slow, who's just trudging on, and they maybe don't have a song in their heart over their work or something like that.
So they have to do, well, but also the Knight of Pentacles is the coming or going of matters connected with money.
True.
And so when I look at the Knight in this movement, I'm thinking, well, they're moving towards maybe doing it, but, you know, the bean counters want to make sure they're going to make their profit off of it.
Some of it's probably contractual. If there were any voice actors of note, maybe they wanted more money to sign up for season 3, you know, that kind of thing.
Or they're looking at viewership and all these different issues and seeing if it's paying off for them. So I think that's an interesting answer, you know.
Well, we'll still throw
isn't
the
that
line
what it
around,
usually
right?
is about? Money, money, money.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Uh-oh. Wow, that is interesting.
Oh, no.
Well, look what came back.
Again?
Yes.
This is the third time, isn't it?
Is it?
Didn't
Yes,
we
it
have
is.
We had it for the first reading, K-Dash. Okay, the stars, followed by the fox.
Which to me is very
Star Fox.
Which to me is very interesting because this maybe does have to do with personalities, whether it's, you know, the director wanting more.
Oh.
What?
How interesting. And I thought Disney was kind of changing a little bit with that.
Really?
Maybe it's because...
Worried about affecting their money from other countries. See, there's the money angle. Well, this does seem to have to do with somebody famous or some famous people. So I kind of wonder here if it isn't some personality issue. I mean, in that, you know, they are demanding more money or somebody's demanding more money, and maybe that's Disney. You know, Disney's a big thing out there in the industry, so this could be all about them.
Well, our main part of the reading suggested that it's likely to come, although we were saying maybe it's going to be slow or something like that. Things need to work out. But with the stars there, it sort of says there's a destiny here involved. There sort of is an idea that it may happen. Maybe it won't happen in time for the true season 3, like maybe it's going to be delayed half a year or something like that.
That's really interesting because, see, the other thing that Mr. O may not realize about the stars is sometimes, depending on the cards it's near, it could mean famous people. It could mean, you know, even that you, like, depending on the cards, it could mean you achieving celebratory status. So the thing
you're saying
is,
the fox is that?
well, when I saw the fox with the stars, I immediately thought of an actor or actress.
Okay.
Or in this case, like she's saying here, the main protagonist is bisexual.
But it's a cartoon.
I know, but
yeah.
it's a character in the show.
see,
So I
yeah.
feel like, in a way, that stands in like an employee or one of the cast, you know?
I can possibly understand this with Disney from that point of view of the other countries and how it's marketed there. But my understanding is that with a lot of other Disney properties, maybe not their specific properties, but like Marvel stuff that they do, Star Wars stuff they do, they are kind of opening up to the idea of representation from the lesbian, gay, bi community, trans community. So this is like in one of those weird spots. Maybe it's more popular in a particular country. I don't know. It's weird. I'm not aware of that one. I vaguely have heard of it.
Yeah.
So that's what we have, though.
Yeah, I think that it's a maybe. It's leaning towards yes. I mean, maybe if enough people complain about their attitudes, you know, regarding this, that Disney will change, you know, because hey, backlash, boycotts to something like that can be pretty difficult.
This is true.
So we'll see where they think their money really, you know, where their best interests really lie. So that's what we have for you, Aaliyah.
I definitely know what it's like to want something to return for another season.
Oh, gosh. Which one? Dark Shadows, Buffy, Angel?
Yes. All of the above.
Angel Mary, you are up. Good to see Angel Mary, and then Stacy and Gina. Hey, Gina. Remember long ago when we, at the end of one of our streams, did readings about Como? Well, I guess it had to play out a lot longer, didn't it? Because
Yeah,
it looks like finally the poop is hitting the fan. But we had predicted some time ago that he was toast, but it seemed more immediate back then than it ended up turning out. Hey, you're welcome, Aaliyah. Good luck with that.
Good luck.
Okay, we'll wait for Angel Mary. Sunman has given us a break. He has wandered off the set. So this Saturday will be my last Dog Days of Summer card. I know. But I think the dog days are over, although really weather-wise they're not, because it's going to be pretty warm around here and humid this weekend. So if you want to throw some extra energy anywhere, send it to Mr. O's mom, who's undergoing some issues right now. We're kind of concerned. We're going to go up there on Saturday. And
We're visiting her for the first time since before the pandemic. I haven't seen my mom since November of 2019, somewhere thereabouts.
and she may need some rather serious surgery, so
Yeah.
we're just keeping posted on that. It won't be easy, but I think
She's
she's going to have to
87.
do something. Yeah. So keep her in your thoughts and hang in there, Mr. O.
Thank you, my dear. So,
Angel Mary, we didn't lose you, did we? Just double checking. May have
who's
to
after
move
Angel
on.
Mary?
It'd be Stacy
Okay.
and then Gina.
Okay, just give her one more minute, I think.
Any other advertisements? Well, we are planning a show, but because of some of the chaos this week, we did not get to film it yet. So we're going to be doing a retrospective of some of our predictions from last year, and we will be adding some new ones to that video. So keep watch for that. That will be coming out. we're going to take a look at where we got it right, where we got it wrong. We already know we had the Super Bowl right. Again.
Mama, oh, that kind of rhymes with her name. Oh, well, not really.
Oh, thank you, Gina.
Thank you. Thank you. If you need to know her name, it's Ursula. But she hated Ursula.
She always was called Sally.
Ursula.
Ursula?
Where do you think it came from?
I
Sally.
know, I
Yeah.
know that. I would have called her Ursie.
She would have
She would've
smacked you in
smacked
the
me
face.
His mom is a real true fighter, though, so, we're hoping for the best. She's pretty amazing. She's been like a second mom to me.
Would that
really.
be because she's Scorpio?
Oh, yeah, well, there is that.
And what have you said about her as a female Scorpio?
Well, I have difficulties for any Scorpios out there with Scorpio women for some reason. I'm not sure why, but it's been known to be that way, except for his mom. Me and his mom just get along great. Always have, despite the trouble I give her.
She gives some back. She's a feisty old broad, as they say.
I like to bake for her, and she's very particular. I have to make chocolate walnut brownies, no frosting.
No frosting.
So I'll be doing that tomorrow.
And we're going to take up some Chinese food because she probably hasn't had good Chinese food in ages. So we'll see how that goes. So I don't think Mama Angel Mary's with us, so she may pop in.
So
let's.
Stacy, why don't you go ahead with your question? We'll move on to you, and if Angel Mary comes back, we'll get to her.
I always loved her name. She said she hated it. I don't know why.
Yeah,
I guess
I like
just
Ursula.
a different era. But Ursula, recently her granddaughter, her other granddaughter, found out that our DNA shows Russian.
Really?
Yes,
Oh.
Ashley found that out.
Wow.
Not a large amount, but Lithuania
So did
is
she
like
do the DNA test stuff?
supposedly Ashley did it.
Okay.
So
Wow.
my mom says I have to talk to Ashley if I want to know more, but I'm not so sure I want to know more.
Is she still drinking and smoking? She smokes a little, yes. She does not drink really.
She's smoking on emphysema. And,
Mild emphysema.
Yeah, mild emphysema. Except it wasn't too mild when it killed my father. Well, it didn't kill my father,
It did not kill his father.
but he had it when he died. And he wasn't a smoker.
Yeah, smoking, it's just amazing. And wasn't that something about, is it Kathy Griffith? Is that who it is? She's never smoked, but she's got lung cancer. So, either secondhand smoke. I keep thinking about, God, I keep thinking of all the Polish weddings and even funerals that I attended as a child. And
Walking through the clouds of smoke.
they were just clouds and clouds of smoke. And of course, I used to bowl as a kid. Used to go to bowling alleys, and bowling leagues and stuff would be full of smoke. Yes. So
So let's let Stacy go then, I guess.
yeah. Yeah, Stacy, go ahead with your question.
And thanks for waiting. Is it your deck this time?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Trying to pull out my reflective tarot. There we go. Okay, I need some room to shuffle, Sonny.
Was your question how will I meet Christopher Maloney?
Oh no, I don't see your question, but let me take a look.
Because the answer
Oh
to that
wait, is it further up ahead?
or behind.
Yeah, I should say further back. No, okay, so I don't know why it didn't come through. Gee.
Yeah, you might want to try it again. Okay, we'll wait.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm
We
starting
can-
the timer now.
We can just badger here.
I badger.
There really aren't that many people that you're holding anything up, Stacy, so not a problem.
It's called extra value.
Well, I am shuffling these better. I worked them in a little bit, but they still are a little tricky, Mr. O. The verbiage is light gray.
What does that mean?
The writing was light gray, I guess. Huh. Gee, I don't know what happened there, Stacy.
Let me take a dedicated look.
Mr. O is going to look and see if we can't see it. Oh, hi, Lena. We'll add you to the list. It's fairly short tonight. Okay, we'll do that, Stacy. Sorry about that. Gina, you are up, and then we'll have Lena and Stacy.
Okay, sounds good.
They'll give you time.
Alrighty. So Gina.
Oracle deck. Okay. I happen to have the New Orleans Oracle deck here, so we'll use that one today. I know it's not Mardi Gras or anything, but that's what we have. I'm going to move you just a little bit there, Sonny. I have to be nice to you because International Cat Day is coming. Oh, you know what? That's true. You know, chats, you have up to 200 characters, I think. Otherwise, it won't go through.
Oh.
Usually, I see a number at the bottom when I'm typing on my chats, and it kind of lets you know when you've gone over 200.
Yeah, maybe you didn't notice that. Am I picking it?
It's as bad as Twitter in a way, you know? Yeah, here, you're going to shuffle too, I think.
Oh, okay.
And cut them. And you pick one from the top, and then we'll look at the bottom.
Whoa.
Yeah, I didn't think of that, Stacy. That's probably exactly what happened. Cut them 3 times, like the tarot. Thank you. Not that I'm picky, but I am. Oh. Oh.
Oh.
So the card on the top was
Patience.
Grasshopper. Patience, Gina.
Something's hopping in that picture, but it's not a grasshopper. It's a little bunny.
Well, how patient you gotta be, you know, because I read this first line here and it says, a tree needs time to grow after it's planted. And the same can be said for even our best laid plans. Well, all I can say is I hope it doesn't take as long as it does for a tree to grow for your plans, Gina. But obviously, patience is being called for here. By simply doing what is in your power and then having some faith and letting go, you'll see the fruits of your labor come to pass one step at a time. This card has shown up in your reading because you are eager for results and your patience has worn thin for waiting for them. Take stock of all your actions. It may be that you've already done all that is within your power, and now it is just time to let nature take its course. And so basically that's the message, I think, in a nutshell, is, you know, you've done what you can now. Now it's time to step back, be patient, and, see what happens. See what the universe is going to give you. And then your second card, I just want to get to the page, is interesting. Even though you need to be patient, you also might want to consider speaking your truth. Being aware of your feelings is one thing, but learning how to express how you feel in a calm and balanced manner can sometimes be a challenge. It's important to understand that speaking your truth does not mean that it will be understood or accepted. Hold on a minute, I lost my place. By others, and it doesn't need to be. The only thing that matters is that you are able to give your feelings a voice and acknowledge how you truly feel. The more you are able to acknowledge and identify how you genuinely feel, the stronger the relationship you have with yourself will become. It's not about being right or wrong, it's simply about knowing and practicing what it means to honor yourself through verbal communication. Now is the time to speak your truth freely. So, patience, but also learn to speak out and speak up for yourself in order to help maybe, move things along.
Think before you speak.
Yeah, I like that. But you know us, Gina, we're going to throw Lenormand for you anyway. Just because.
Did you get the fox again?
No, even more apropos.
I didn't get it.
Well, there's a snake in that tree.
There's a snake in the tree.
The serpent. It reminds me of Adam and Eve.
Oh, look. In fact,
I know.
he's coiling down from the
coiled
tree.
on a tree. Really interesting because right there's the tree analogy again. And so, the tree is about health, but the tree is about growth. And, so in order for you to grow your goals or your dreams, your visions, it's going to take time. And don't deceive yourself. Don't think you can, speed up this process in any way, shape, or form. I think that's what the snake is about here.
Okay, well, these are both really rather biblical, symbolic. The tree of the
life.
fruit of knowledge,
Yeah.
which, of course, the snake was saying, here, Eve, hey, apple, Eve, no, never mind. Take a bite. But seriously speaking, the tree is number 5, and the snake is number 7. That's 12, and 1 and 2 is 3. What does it mean?
I don't know, Mr. O. You tell me. But you said, what is it? 1 and something? What did you say?
5 and 7 is 12. 1 and 2 is 3.
And then I have 1 and 3 is 4. No.
Well, add
And
them
2
together.
and 2 is 4.
So you have 2 2s. Or 4.
Beats me. But I will say that I feel that now you wonder sometimes, okay, you just asked for the oracle reading, but you see why I like to do the Lenormand too? Because, again, it's almost like you got reinforcement there with the tree and the patient growth. So,
Right,
interesting.
and maybe the thing too is that it's about you saying there is no snake because all of us deserve knowledge.
Ooh. Mr. O is very profound today.
No, I'm not.
That's what we have for you, Gina. Well, I hope that was good for you.
I love the Tree of Life, the whole Kabbalah, and the way everything organizes so much esoteric information. It's just the best.
Okay, let's go to Lena. Lena, you are up, and then Stacy, we'll try again.
All right, so I'm going to go back to the Thoth. No, wait, I haven't used the Egyptian one yet. I'm going to use Nefertari.
Ah. The 22 to her 11.
Oh, okay.
Did you see that?
I did, but I didn't understand it.
Well, first off, what is 11 and 11?
22.
I don't know. Oh.
Go right ahead then. You're welcome, Gina.
Hey, you are welcome, Gina. Okay, Lena, go ahead with your question. Are you dropping cards?
Always. But I'm getting good at it because now when I know I have to
As long
bend
as
over
you
and get
don't
them,
Bend them. Don't bend the cards.
I switch the camera so that
I saw that.
no one can see my bald head.
Oh,
as they bend over. All right, a general reading for
you
Lena.
are so self-conscious. But then again, so am I. I'm self-conscious.
Yes, I
about
figured that.
that. Yeah,
I
we
figured
got
that.
it. We got you, Gina.
After all, I'm psychic.
I'd say the former and the latter.
Why not both? Ole!
Ole.
General reading for Lena. Let me focus.
Okay, we got it, Lena.
That one literally hopped out.
Oh, what is it?
Seven of Cups sideways, as E.T. might say.
Interesting.
So it's kind of like maybe you're waiting for ideas, but you're not really sure what you would decide once you see the ideas.
Ideas? I don't know. I think
The dreams, the visions,
Yeah, true,
yes.
true. We'll see if that plays into this reading at all. You never know. The card might come back.
It's true. I've just noticed that Apple and Eve occasionally interprets a card that falls sideways differently than it might be interpreted right side or reverse.
Well, what's interesting is I have some readings that have sideways cards in them, some of my spreads that I created. And I had a thought there at the time I was doing that, and I'm not holding myself to it, but that the cards could be read both upright and reversed, because either one or the other may apply when they show up sideways. So I kind of look at it that way. So maybe if you looked at both messages of that card, it's trying to say that it is time now to make a selection, you know, from all those vast choices. All right. Well, this is a pretty good reading here, Lena. The Nine of Swords is here, but the Nine of Swords is reversed, which is a good thing. And then we have the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands is upright. Is that the Seven of Wands?
Yes, it is.
You know, I saw him holding that, and I almost thought he was the boat guy, but no, he's...
I know, I did too. And I'm
Yeah.
like, no, he's just
Yeah,
above
holding-
the crocodiles.
Yes. Well, that's rocks there, right, too, right? He's on a rock ledge.
Could be, I don't
I
know.
think. And then we have the Six of Cups.
Ooh, nice.
I kind of like this reading for you, Lena. It shows here with the Nine of Swords, there's this sense now of pulling yourself together, you know, in a way, how should I say this? From things, self-doubts that you may have had, some issues of some fears you may have had and doubts about the future. It just seems like, you know, whether they were real or whether they were imagined, you're really getting a firmer, solider footing on things. And that Seven of Wands is the result of that. It's showing you to be able to stand above, you know, all the pressures maybe you've been feeling or things that have been trying to bring you down. You know, you're above it now. You're finally, you know, like you're treading above water. And I mean in a good way. Not like you're treading for your life here, but that you really do have the upper hand now. And I also feel now that, you know, you're looking, and maybe this is because of some strength you're getting from some past connections. I don't know if there's family or friends or maybe even some fond memories from the past. Something is, you know, assisting you. I feel like there's a role from the past here in some way. I don't know. Why don't you go? And
I feel that the Nine of
sort that out
Swords
more.
reversed and the Seven of Wands combined to suggest that you have basically, or you will be in this next phase, overcoming some very interesting things. Partially what that is, I think, is just saying you need to stand up for yourself, or you need to have a better plan for yourself. And a part of that involves you saying, I need to really be able to work for myself and not, you know, prioritizing yourself over maybe other people that feel that you need to help them. So it may be that there are other people around you, and I wonder where the family connection comes from. Maybe it's that. It's like maybe there's a sense that although the family gives joy and pleasure, there's also certain obligations. You're in the middle there trying to rise above that, and part of that is involving really creating the continuity of saying, I love you, but I also have my own life too.
Well, the Six of Cups is more than just family, I'll just say. I mean, it really is about happiness and stuff and joy from the past. And I know, you've had some issues, in the past that have not been very happy in the recent past. So maybe this is going back even further, And it could also maybe be happiness from, I don't know. Just trying to think here. I feel like maybe some old friends, it's possible some old friends, getting together with some people from your past. But one way or another, I feel this is like to me, this feels like a turning of a corner here, because that Nine of Swords, the Nine of Swords when it's upright is a kind of a difficult card. You're wrestling with all kinds of inner turmoil and inner demons, things that can keep you up at night. But it's reversed now. You have reversed that. And you are now taking control. You are much more confident. You are much more secure in, dealing with, any self-doubts or fears that you might have.
So we're going to pull the Lenormand now.
Yes.
So we pulled the Sun and the Whip. And I guess what this is saying is that things are going to change, get better, finding out things, maybe good fortune. And I believe it's going to happen in a quick way, maybe unexpectedly. I sort of feel like it harkens a little bit to that, because maybe there's a little sense of unexpectedness there.
Yeah. The Whip is a funny, it's not always a happy card, but I really feel here that, it is basically about fast, something happening fast. And to me, the Sun is a card of success. So I feel that something is going to be moving very quickly for you, and it's going to bring great success or happiness your way, contentment your way. It can also mean something, like he said, illumination, some knowledge that comes to you that really you've needed to hear, whether it's about business matters or whether it's about something else in your life. Whatever the case may be, I think that the Sun is returning, and it's because you've turned a corner. It looks like you've turned a corner here. The cards are very interesting for you, Lena, because really, if I look at what we've been reading for you, there's been a progression going on, a more positive progression, don't you think?
I do too. And the Seven of Wands is not typically a card of movement,
Right.
But to me that image sort of says he's on a boat and he's trying to move through an area that has some adversity. And I'm going to suggest to you that maybe this is saying this thing that happens quickly is something that moves you away from the continuing difficulties or things that are sort of holding you back. It's moving you forward away from them.
Yeah. I don't know. It's looking good to me. I mean, it's not the most, how should I say, bells and whistles reading, but it's very positive.
I think there's some nice things there for you, Lena.
Good luck with that.
Good luck. Thank you.
And let's just check on Stacy. Stacy, do you think you got your question? And Angel Mary, did you ever come back, just so we know? Are you back with us?
And anyone watching, if you're in the chat room, you can ask us for a reading. We're just about an hour away from ending, so we got plenty of time to do some more readings here. You're welcome, Lena.
You're welcome, Lena. Oh, thanks, Stacy.
Okay, that's a good question. Thank you. Thank you.
Next 6 to 12 months. Why don't we start with, do you want to start with the yes, no?
Sure.
Here's this one. Sunny is sacked out here. Hey, Apple and Eve.
Hi, Apple and Eve. Were your ears buzzing? We were talking about you.
At the very and when I shouldn't have been doing it because we were a little late starting, I saw your DM and very interesting. I got to look at it again, but I spoke to Mr. O briefly about it. Thanks for all that information. But I don't know that we really have a YouTube rep.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We'll have to find out.
So I don't know who we would talk to, but we could definitely put in some notice to YouTube.
Definitely something to be aware of and try to figure out what that means.
Yeah, he'll have to read it because, like I said, I saw it at the right before we started the show. Here you go. Well, good to see you here. Oh, yeah, we will. We will. Sonny is doing his little snore thing.
Yes, he's not very visible, but he's right over here. Sleeping, sacked out. Good old sun man. It was a busy day. I'm not overly stressed, but I really worked hard today at work, and I'm a little tired.
Well, gosh, I hope it does work out for you because remember, this is not a definite no. It's leaning towards no, though. We have the Ace of Cups reversed. But, and I think we're going to do some more on this to see what else we get.
Yeah.
We also have the Three of Wands upright. And the Knight of Cups reversed. Yeah. So the Three of Wands, it seems like you're still looking towards something. That this might still be off more in the future than that.
Or you think you have plans for how to get it happening, like how to move it. It looks like there's a plan somewhere to try to get this to happen. You've done inquiries, or you've done investigation, you've done data research of some sort, or you will be. But
someone or something seems to be a stumbling block. It could be just that, I don't know, it's a cup card in this situation.
Well, I'm wondering if it's a sense of appreciation, and I don't know if that means that maybe there's like a vibe you're feeling about people you're talking with, or maybe there's a vibe they're feeling about talking with you. Like maybe something isn't smooth, something is sort of not smooth. I wouldn't say it's choppy. There's like a communication vibe thing that isn't quite there.
Well, I'm thinking right. And I'm thinking that maybe there's some personality conflicts going on in this community. I don't know, maybe you don't see that yet, but I'm wondering about that because of the cup card, emotions being involved. And so maybe that Three of Wands is saying right now to be taking more of a wait and watch and see attitude.
Just stay away from Bozo the Ghost Hunter. I hear that show's rotten.
Bozo the Ghost Hunter?
I'm just trying to be silly.
That he is. All right, take the cards and shuffle them. here. I'm going to let you shuffle first. Just wait, Stacy. We're going to do a little bit more. I want to see if we can get a little more information about this community, working with this paranormal community.
Makes sense. Okay.
There's something there, and it seems to be, to me, it seems like a clash of personality. I don't know.
Well, the other thing is like many of these fields, sometimes they're overly competitive because they're all looking for maybe what could be a limited sense of contracts from travel and Discovery channels and things like that. I don't really know that. I'm just making that kind of educated guess because...
Well, whatever. It may not have to do with TV, but I know what you're saying.
Well, okay, that's true.
But I know what you're saying. All right.
True enough. Point taken, Banshee. So we have the priestess, the high priestess. She says priestess.
My gosh, and here's the Three of Wands, but this time it's reversed.
That priestess was reversed, and then the Three of Wands is reversed. And then there's a Four of Swords reversed. Is an opportunity coming from a really unexpected source that's just sort of is coming back into the picture, like maybe somebody's been away and so something's reviving, and maybe it's unexpected, but also too there's a sense that it's really challenging the norms of what is considered esoteric and what is maybe considered not so esoteric. I don't know.
This is a tough one, but I'm going to say when I see that High Priestess card there reversed, I'm wondering, Stacy, if there's some things that you do not know about this group yet again, which is why there was that caution, with the first reading we had. There's more you need to find out, and I feel like you can't just trust your gut judgment on this one. You have to take more time to observe this. And the Four of Swords reversed just might be indicating to me that, it is you have to be more active in your approach to really checking this out, I think. I think that's what it's saying is don't just sit back, take a real hard look at this and really examine what might be going on here or not.
Three of Wands reversed may be talking about stability issues within this framework, like maybe not everything is exactly 1, 2, 3. Maybe things are kind of a little haphazard in some of this operation. I'm just wondering.
Yeah, I don't know. It's really interesting because that Three of Wands, came up both upright and reversed. And so I do feel there's something here. I'm not saying not to do it because, of course, the tarot's only a snapshot in time.
True.
But the likelihood about the timing, too, I'm wondering. It just doesn't seem like it's acting like it's going to happen in that time frame.
Well, with the Three of Wands both ways, I'm wondering, too, if it just sort of says that opportunities kind of ebb and flow. And so it's also a matter of just really being ready to stick out your hand and grab it as it's going by. Clouds.
Yeah.
But they're facing the good way, right? So Banshee has pulled the clover and I have pulled the clouds. And I guess it's saying luck will help through some of the confusion or... So in other words, yes, it's saying, I guess, your luck will be helpful. It may not be totally helpful. What do you want to say here?
Well, I don't know. I do think the light side of the clouds are facing the clover, which is better, but I really have the feeling here, I don't know, when I'm seeing those clouds there, that I feel like you really have to check this out more, that it is in your benefit to do that. You have to clear up anything that looks confusing, or, like I said, with the clouds, sometimes that indicates that you're not seeing everything as clear as you need to see it. And maybe the luck is going to come to you if you take the time to really, make sure everything is the way it should be, I just get that feeling here that luck would definitely be to your advantage to really try to clear, just kind of see through any layers of I don't know, confusion or cloudiness with this situation. If that makes sense at all. It's interesting. I don't know. I'm not getting a perfectly good vibe here, but I'm not getting any danger signals per se. It just may be ultimately, when I think about it, it's ultimately you may decide that it's not for you.
Right. Though considering what you said, I don't see that. But I think it's something that has a little bit of some shifting sands there. But I don't know. I wouldn't say I feel totally negative about this. I just sort of feel like it's one of those things where there's so much flexibility around it in terms of various. Because I mean, there's so many people involved, and everybody's got their own personality, their own ideas. So.
Yeah. I just think that too, that there is not a lot here so far as timing goes. But what I want to do is I'm just going to try something here.
And that is the Tower.
Well, it's interesting because the Tower is like an institution. I guess it could be an organization. And the number 19 is there, and I was really looking for the number. So actually, that could mean that it could take anywhere from 19 days, weeks, or months. So maybe it's going to take a little bit longer, than you had anticipated. But that's good because I think it will give you time to really make sure this is what you really want to get involved with.
We'll leave it at that.
Because, I noticed, what was it you said? How many months? 6 to 12 months. May take longer. See, it might take closer to 19.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for that question. That was a fascinating question. I love when we get the other questions about esoterics and paranormal stuff because it really challenges us.
It could be a step towards something bigger, or it might, that's true, Apple and Eve. And when I think of the Three of Wands, maybe what this is saying is that, you have your heart set on this group, Stacy, but maybe there's something else out there for you that might take precedence. You might decide instead you'd rather go for that opportunity.
I could sort of see that with the Three of Wands, maybe.
Yeah.
The way it shifts a little bit, like you're still waiting for the ship to come in thing,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thanks for mentioning that, Apple and Eve, because that's a good point. So, all right, that's what we have for you. And, okay, have we gone through, let's see, is Angel Mary back?
I don't believe Angel Mary came back.
Angel Mary, I'm just giving another call for you. So, Apple and Eve, were you just watching or did you want a reading? We're out of readings, so so it doesn't matter to us. But and if anybody has an extra question, we are open for that.
That's right.
Aww. Oh, I love you too, Stacy.
Thanks for coming.
And I think Christopher Maloney is hot too, if you haven't figured that out. Sunny and I are wrestling. It's so silly. Aww. Okay. Go ahead and type it in, Apple and Eve. It's just a little show stealer. As we've said, every single time we start the show, he's got to be here. He's just got to jump up here.
Just before, when I was adjusting the scenes and stuff, Shadow just plopped down and she was just all elegant sitting there.
Shadow's up in the tree behind him now.
But I had to move around things too much, and so she got bored of me. But there she is. Say hi, Shadow. Hello, Shadow. I know you want to go back to sleep, right?
Aw. Yes, got it.
Excellent question.
Right.
Excellent
Inquiring
question.
minds want to know. Your deck, I think?
Yeah, we'll go back to the Thoth Tarot,
Okay.
the Millennium Thoth.
Libra! Hey!
Hi, Libra. Where have you been?
After Apple and Eve, you're just in time for
Yeah, you'll be the
reading.
very next person after this one. I love that question, A&E.
Yeah, I understand why we don't want to talk about it. You know, my son's given me some info about certain ways certain social media will monitor things. So, and I know voice is one of them. Yes, you are, because we're going to give up the ghost after Apple and Eve, but hey, always welcome to do another reading. Mr. O, do you want to talk about your strange experience? Because I do think maybe there was some psychic thing there.
Oh,
Yeah.
you mean...
Yes. Yeah.
Who's been sleeping in my bed? I had a Goldilocks experience a couple of days ago. First of all, if you're new here tonight or just showed up, Banshee mentioned earlier, my mom is having a health problem right now. She's 87 and she may be looking at a serious surgery.
Very serious.
She had some problems and was in the hospital twice in the last week. We think she's stable. She's in a bit of pain and she needs to have some things done. Not going to get into too much detail. But while I was, over the last few days, digesting this and in between phone calls to her and also waiting for her to call back because sometimes she was at the hospital when I called, I was laying in bed taking a nap and I thought Banshee came in and laid down beside me to take a nap. I had this so strong impression of her laying down next to me and like maybe even she said something to me, but I was half asleep. And so then a little while goes by and I realize, oh, I'm here alone.
He comes down and says to me, so when did you come downstairs? And I'm like, I've always been down here.
So then the next thing she said was, that was your mom. I immediately called her again. Mom! But we don't know. You know?
There are two surgical options. One is less invasive, but both of them
Thank you, Libra.
are very risky at her age, and both of them have, oh gosh, you know, some serious possible after effects. So we're just hoping for the best. Because like I said, his mom is just like, almost like me, a cat with 9 lives.
Okay, E.T. E.T. We have the 8 of Swords reversed. And I have a new understanding of this card, which I'll get to in a minute. And then we have the 8 of Wands upright.
Wow.
2 8s.
Wow. Well, I love this. We're going to have a chat.
And then our third card, 3 of Swords reversed.
Looks like you might be able to write this situation. We don't want to get too obvious. Looks like you will be able to write this situation, Apple and Eve. The 3 of Swords is reversed to me. That indicates some healing or something being righted again. But let's look at that 8 of Swords reversed and that 8 of Wands upright. It's like you're trying to free yourself from some situation. The ability to liberate yourself, you know, to be able to freely communicate, because the 8 of Wands is about expanded communications, like
Right, it's almost like that's very encouraging there, that it just really says that the resolutions are really about fundamental
reaching people
and clarity. I sort of think that the 8 of Wands has a sense of a clarity, moving, direct, nothing else attached to it, just clarity. Now, recently, I've been looking at another Thoth deck, and it's made me think that the Eight of Swords, reversed otherwise, is really about us looking at our inner things that suppress us more so than limitations per se, but more like how we take on more options or agendas, or how we, let those things fill up. And so with the reverse of that, it's really saying like, we've come to the conclusion we can figure out how to eliminate needless agendas or things that we're doing, how we can eliminate the things that we think we need to do but are really holding us back.
So the swords here about decisive action, and in a sense communication as well. But the Eight of Wands to me is about like messages, moving messages, And I always look at the Eight of Wands in a way to be kind of internet focused. So sometimes when you're speaking in terms of communication. So to me, this just fits together like a real proverbial glove. And I do think that it looks like the air will be cleared. You're going to be able to liberate yourself from things that have been blocking, your energy flow, your communication flow.
The only thing I would say is that maybe the Eight of Swords doesn't apply directly just to one side of the equation. Like maybe it could be the other side too. Maybe they're the ones who are realizing that the agenda needs to lighten up somehow, or that focus needs to change. But, I'm just throwing that out there as a possibility,
Knowing people, knowing these kinds of entities.
It's fascinating.
Indeed. Let's see what we get here. I wouldn't be surprised if I got... No. Well, it's interesting that I got a particular person here, but maybe that means that whoever you communicate about the problem, maybe they're going to be, it's shining a light on something, and there is success here in dealing with this communication.
Right. It seems like this is an external to me for sure, and that they're the external that has the light. There's something that you find that basically you're moving towards. This communication or whatever it is brings success and sun.
Yeah.
Sure hope so.
Wow. Interesting. Boy, did that fit
It's
like
so
a glove
fascinating.
or what? I mean, that just was very interesting to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bam!
Thank you too. Thank you so
All
much.
right. Yes, and thanks for sharing that with us. Appreciate it big time.
All right.
Hey, Libra Cusp, you are up. And then we'll close the show just a little early again on Thursday, which means I have a dilemma again if I'm
Thank
going to
you.
watch the Olympics or Restaurant Impossible. I missed last week's. I'll probably miss this week's because it's all Olympics all the time.
I'm glad you liked
Mr.
it, E.T. Thank you.
Much to Mr. O's regrets. Hey, you are welcome, E.T.
I'm kind of a snoozer on most sports.
The bunny!
Aw.
I love bunnies.
We see so many bunnies. They're so pretty.
I
love
never
bunnies.
see enough bunnies.
Well, I don't know that I see too many, but I see enough. I do see enough. I mean, I see bunnies probably 4 or 5 times a week for sure.
I was not happy about the buzzard I saw last Saturday.
Oh, no, 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 no.
No.
And thanks for your earlier thoughts too, E.T. My mom is quite a fighter, so appreciate the thoughts.
Oh, yeah. Your mom is not giving up anything without a fight.
You're so welcome too. Thank you. I'm wearing my electric blue shirt today.
And I better make the best brownies for her possible. The pressure's on. It's been a while since I baked, so.
My sister lives near her. They're about 3.5 hours away, so it's not easy to get there. And then, of course, with the pandemic, it just didn't happen. But my sister said, well, she's not really that hungry, but don't forget, no frosting on the brownies.
Did she say that? That's funny.
Well, she didn't say it exactly with that tone that I just put in there, but she said, no frosting on the brownies.
Yes.
Everyone knows my
She
mom
only
does
likes
not like...
fudgy chocolate brownies with walnuts in them. Not my preferred, but, I like walnuts.
She
They're
knows
okay.
her daughter-in-law's a good baker.
But I found a recipe that has an added ingredient, and she's just going to have to deal with it. It's going to have some cinnamon. And some coffee.
Good night, Gina.
Oh, take care, Gina. We'll see you soon.
Yes, that's unusual because usually you can't get close to bunnies, that's for sure, Libra. They're trained to kind of run.
Oh, one
How
got
sweet.
really close to me once, but most of them, they run Queen of Cups upright.
That's you. Queen of Cups. Whoops. I don't have my camera on. There we go.
Death reversed.
Death
Gee, wasn't that our
reversed.
card of the day today? I believe it was.
Why, yes, it was.
And then the Knight of Swords upright. Well, I don't know why the bunny would have such a profound message for you. But the bunny is basically saying that, you can't put off making decisions much longer because, it's time to make a decision, and once you're done, you'll be much happier for it. You will feel much better emotionally for it. I just want to say one more thing. Bunnies, rabbits sometimes, I'm thinking in terms of my medicine card deck, rabbits sometimes can, if you think about bunnies, they're scared, they're skitty, they run away. And so the bunny didn't run away. And so I think the bunny is telling you that it is time to, death is there saying, I don't want to move right now. I don't want to make a decision. But it's time to make it and move on, and you'll be much happier and relieved once you do.
Well, I'm saying it a little differently, but kind of the same. To me, this says you're stuck. Death reverses stagnation. You're stuck between these two forces. The force maybe of a wonderful kindness and heartfeltness, and then a force of, more direct movement towards a goal. And I think that's what the bunny's saying is you could be more kind or you could be more direct for your actions. This doesn't necessarily mean that you're not kind at all, but there's a kinder way to do things. There's just a more direct way to do things. So the kinder way would be maybe working with a situation, and the direct way would be just saying, nah, I'm just going in there and doing it. And so the bunny's saying you're stuck between those, and like Banshee says, maybe there is a sense of a choice there, that it's up to you,
I like it.
Okay.
I do.
Well, it's close enough to yours. I just sort of came at it from around the back, maybe. Shouldn't I be picking first?
Oh, should you?
Oh.
Oh no. Is the bunny getting... Oh, well, that's okay. Well, but that's interesting, isn't it?
So I pulled the coffin.
Which is interesting because it's like a corollary to the death card.
Yeah, it is. And you pulled the fox. So remember that fox you told us about the other week? No, I'm kidding. Bunny's going to stomp on the fox.
Well, it's interesting that you got the coffin, but the coffin in this case is a little bit different than that death card in that the coffin is indicating that something, I don't know if this has something to do with about your work life,
Thank you.
What?
She said keeping my mom in her purse.
Oh,
Thank you.
that's nice. Thank you, Libra. I don't know if the coffin has something to do with your work life or,
Right, because the fox could be that.
right. So something has to come to an end.
But you're not working right now,
Yeah.
or you're in between.
I wonder if this has something to do with, I don't know if this has something, the message is relating to the ending of your previous job for some reason.
Is it possible they're trying to get you to come back and that's what the decision might be about? Or is it possible that this has led to something else, but maybe it's not quite right for you either?
Or maybe is it time for you to be looking for something else work-wise? I'm wondering if that's the case here. It's like, that those cards might be, the Lenormand might be accentuating those cards by saying, maybe now that your job has ended, it's time for you to, instead of being stuck in place, standing still, make a decision that you can be happy with. Maybe you're just not sure what you want to do, and the bunny is trying to say, it's time to decide. Do you want to get back out in the workforce, or are you better off not going there?
And I could kind of see that because to some degree the Queen of Cups would sound like more of a mothering, nurturing person. I hate that kind of broad stereotype. Whereas this might be the kind of person who goes to work, the bread earner. And it could be saying that that's how you're looking at it, or that's how the choices may present to you, that either you want to be back in the work world, or maybe there's something else that just speaks more to where you nurture or what you grow on your terms.
Yeah, I don't know why. When I'm looking at this now, I really feel that this decision...
Okay, they didn't call. Yeah,
okay, you are looking. Okay. So I have a feeling, I don't know why. Yeah, you know what? And I think that death reversed is indicating to me that I think you're going to be stuck for a little while here. But something is going, at some point, something I feel might be coming along where you're going to have to make a decision, and you'll be much happier once you make it. So it might be that there might be a job offer, or maybe something that you were debating whether you should, get into this line of work or into this kind of work or not. And once you make that decision, you'll be much happier.
right. This could actually be, you moving towards a job or a job moving towards you. It is possible. But okay, so you are welcome, and hopefully that works for you.
And that's what we have for you. So good luck with that, Libra. And that's our show, I guess, tonight. I want to thank everybody for coming today. Stacy, it was good to see you here.
Good to see all
Thanks. You're welcome anytime.
E.T.
E.T. thing. E.T. A-N-E. Thanks for your advice. And
So don't forget to watch our other
everybody.
shows. I'm on tomorrow if you need a little boost in the emotional department.
well, what else is on tomorrow?
And of course,
We're doing our happy hour.
Happy hour. Come at noon and have a happy hour with us. We promise positive messages. And then, of course, Banshee fills in on Sunday, and then we're back to our stream Sunday afternoon.
Busy weekend for us.
And keep paying attention, because maybe we will tell you more about our anniversary special if we get that together.
Hopefully soon. But I consider this anniversary month, so there.
My father's initials are E.T., were E.T., and at the last place he worked at, E.T. was a popular movie, so they always used to call him E.T., and he always used to say, E.T., phone home. At the same time, I worked at a place, and my nickname was Alien, so it was just kind of weird.
All right, everybody, on that note,
Too much information.
we're going to say goodbye. So
Good night,
take care, everybody, and hope to see you at our upcoming happy hour and our show on Sunday. We'll see you soon.
Bye now.
Bye.